When a crocodile decides to attack, there is no way to escape the situation. From Hendrik Coetzee, who was kayaking through the rivers of Congo when he was suddenly devoured by a crocodile.
It was massive. We got him by the shoulder. Yeah, it was just like, it was right up.
To Jesus Alberto Lopez Ortiz, a well-known soccer player who was enjoying a beautiful day on the lake when a crocodile suddenly killed him. Here are 20 times in which people had brutal encounters with crocodiles. Let's dive right in. Andrew Hurd. In February 2021, Andrew Hurd set out on a fishing trip off the coast of Hinchinbrook Island in Australia, a trip he never returned from. The 69-year-old was enjoying a peaceful day on the water when he was attacked by a nearly 5-meter male crocodile. 2 years after Andrew Hurd's disappearance, a coronial investigation revealed chilling details. A male crocodile and a female crocodile were captured and euthanized. Upon examination, both were found to have human remains in their stomachs, and DNA testing confirmed the remains belonged to Andrew Hurd. Wildlife experts stated that this was the first recorded case of 2 crocodiles preying on a human. The male crocodile likely killed Mr. Hurd while he was fishing, and the female may have assisted in dismembering and consuming the body. This is particularly rare, as it's uncommon for crocodiles to share a kill, especially a human. Also, the fact that both a male and a female crocodile were involved in the attack suggests a coordinated behavior, which is especially surprising during the breeding season when their focus is typically on mating rather than hunting together. If you think crocodiles are unpredictable, wait until you hear about Brett Mann's chilling encounter with one that defied logic. Brett Mann. In a terrifying encounter, a 22-year-old man, Brett Mann, was killed by a massive 13-foot saltwater crocodile while his 2 friends watched in horror from a nearby tree. The tragic incident took place at Finnis River, about 50 miles southwest of Darwin, in the Northern Territory. Brett and his friends, Sean Blowers and Ashley McGow, had been riding quad bikes through the muddy trails when they stopped by the river to swim. While they were in the water, Brett was swept away by the strong current. As Sean and Ashley swam to help him, a crocodile lurking in the river struck. The 2 scrambled up a nearby tree to escape, but it was too late for Brett. After the attack, the crocodile dragged Brett's body to the surface and showed it off to his friends, circling their tree for hours. The friends spent the night trapped in the tree, terrified as the crocodile stalked them. After 22 hours, a police helicopter finally rescued them. At the same time, authorities began searching for Brett's remains and the crocodile, but they found no sign of either. If you thought that was chilling, wait until you hear what happened to a young adventurer on the Zambezi River. Amelie Osborne Smith. In a shocking attack on the Zambezi River near Victoria Falls, 18-year-old Amelie Osborne Smith had her gap-year adventure take a terrifying turn. While whitewater rafting with friends, Amelie, who had recently completed her A-levels, was resting her leg over the side of the boat when a massive 10-foot crocodile lunged from the water, clamping down on her leg and dragging her under. Thankfully, Amelie's friend acted fast, reportedly punching the crocodile on the nose to force it to release her. Other rafters and guides rushed to help, fighting off the predator and pulling her to safety. Amelie was airlifted to a hospital in Zambia, around 240 miles away, where she was treated for serious leg injuries.
I was told that my foot's going to be fine and that I will be able to walk again. It's such a relief.
Her father, former Army officer Brent Osborne Smith, described the attack as a distressing situation. Also, Amelie's recovery remains uncertain, with her father sharing concerns about the severity of her injuries and potential complications from infection. And the next story is even more gruesome. Lane Graves. What was meant to be a dream vacation for a family at Disney World turned into a horrific nightmare when their 2-year-old son, Lane Graves, was attacked and dragged into the water by an alligator. The family had been staying at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort, enjoying the evening by the Seven Seas Lagoon when the tragedy occurred. Lane was wading just a foot into the water with his parents nearby. Suddenly, an alligator, estimated to be between 4 and 7 feet long, lunged from the water, clamping its jaws onto Lane's leg. His father immediately ran to rescue him, but despite fighting the alligator, he was unable to save his son. The alligator dragged Lane into the deeper water, disappearing before anyone could intervene. A 16-hour search and rescue operation followed, with divers eventually recovering Lane's body from the lake. Authorities confirmed the cause of death was drowning, and the family, while devastated, found some relief in having their son's body returned. This tragic incident marked the first alligator fatality at Disney in 45 years of operations. And if you think that's shocking, the next story will make you reconsider the safety of even the most serene places. Hendrik Coetzee. In a chilling encounter on the Lukuga River in the Congo, 2 American kayakers witnessed the brutal attack that claimed the life of their guide, Hendrik Coetzee. The trio had been navigating the remote section of the river, deep in the Congo, when tragedy struck. So, Hendrik was leading the expedition when a massive crocodile ambushed him. As the group paddled in close formation to appear as a larger target, the predator launched from behind, grabbing Hendrik, flipping him upside down, and dragging him beneath the water. His 2 companions, Ben Stooksbury and Chris Korbelich, were left in shock, unable to react in time.
God damn it. Oh. Damn it. Oh, Henry.
According to Chris, it came from behind us. We didn't see anything until it was too late. Despite an extensive search, Hendrik's body was never recovered. This tragic incident occurred on a 2-month expedition aimed at raising awareness for clean water in Africa. Also, Hendrik had previously cautioned his team about the dangers of hippos and crocodiles in the region, but sadly, while the Americans escaped unharmed, the loss of their guide left a lasting impact. And the next story is even more gruesome. New South Wales tourist. On August 3rd, a 40-year-old man tragically lost his life in a brutal crocodile attack near Cooktown, Queensland. The incident occurred in the Annan River at a spot called Crocodile Bend, about 7 kilometers south of Cooktown. The man, who was fishing with his family and friends, slipped down a steep riverbank at around 2 p.m. As he tried to climb back up, a large saltwater crocodile, believed to be between 4 and 5 meters long, seized him in front of his horrified family, including children. Authorities launched an intense search and rescue operation, but despite the efforts of local police, rangers, and volunteers using drones and watercraft, the man's body has not been found. While the Queensland police have not officially confirmed his death, reports suggest that the search mission is focused on recovering his body. Local officials, including Cookshire Mayor Robin Holmes, expressed condolences and urged the media to respect the privacy of the grieving family during this difficult time. And if this made your stomach turn, wait till we get deeper into the video. Ginger Fay Meadows. In one of the most harrowing crocodile encounters, Ginger Meadows tragically found herself under the jaws of a massive saltwater crocodile in Australia on March 29, 1987. So, Meadows was on a trip aboard the Lady G, a luxurious boat, when the tragedy struck near Cascade Falls, south of Darwin. Despite warnings from the skipper not to enter the water, Meadows and her friend, Jane Burchett, decided to go for a swim near the waterfall. As they swam in waist-deep water, the skipper spotted a 4-meter crocodile heading straight for them. He shouted a warning, but it was too late. The women found themselves trapped against the base of the waterfall with the crocodile closing in. In a desperate attempt to ward it off, Burchett threw her shoe at the predator, momentarily making it close its mouth. But it wasn't enough. Meadows, thinking she could escape, tried to swim for safety. Tragically, the crocodile caught her around the waist, dragging her under the water. Burchett, helpless, watched as the crocodile pulled her friend beneath the surface, only for Meadows' lifeless body to be found the next day, on what would have been her 25th birthday. If you think this is haunting, wait until you hear about a crocodile whose legendary wrath spanned an entire decade. Bujang Senang. One of the most terrifying crocodiles in history was Bujang Senang, a massive white-striped saltwater crocodile believed to be the vengeful spirit of an Iban warrior named Simalungun, who was known for his brutal headhunting until a tragic turn of events led to his death near the Batang Lupa River in 1987. His spirit, fueled by anger and thirst for revenge, was transformed into a giant crocodile by a powerful shaman. So, Bujang Senang, terrorizing the Batang Lupa region, became infamous for its brutal attacks. Between 1982 and 1992, it claimed at least 14 lives. One of its earliest victims was Bangan Anak Pali, a man snatched by the crocodile while searching for prawns with his brother. In 1991, Bujang Senang claimed yet another victim, Dayang Anak Bayang, who was dragged under the water by the crocodile while helping her mother out of the river. Eni, her brother, led a group of villagers to track and confront the crocodile. After a long battle, including shooting and throwing spears, the villagers managed to trap Bujang Senang, and on May 12, 1992, they finally defeated the crocodile. If you thought Bujang Senang's story was chilling, wait until you hear about the monstrous crocodile still haunting Lake Tanganyika. Gustave, crocodile. For decades, the people of Lake Tanganyika in Burundi have been haunted by Gustave, an enormous man-eating crocodile believed to have killed over 300 people. This legendary Nile crocodile, stretching nearly 20 feet long and weighing 2,000 pounds, has terrorized the Rusizi River and surrounding areas since the 1980s. First officially identified in 2001 by herpetologist Patrice Fay, Gustave's massive size made him easily recognizable in his territory. One year, Gustave is reported to have killed 17 people in just a short stretch of river. Despite his terrifying reputation, some believe Gustave doesn't just kill for food, but for sport. While the crocodile rarely consumes all of his victims, leaving bodies almost intact, experts like Mark Ganswana argue that he doesn't kill for fun. Instead, he has very little need for food, only consuming part of his prey in certain circumstances. Though Gustave hasn't been seen since 2016, experts believe that the 75-year-old giant could still be lurking in the vast waters of Lake Tanganyika, and his reign of terror may not be over. And if this made your stomach turn, wait till we get deeper into the video. Russell Harris. In a tragic crocodile attack, British mining expert Russell Harris was killed while snorkeling off a remote Australian island just 60 feet from the shore. So Harris had been working on Groot Island, an island off the northern coast of Australia, when he and a workmate decided to snorkel near Picnic Beach. The two men were separated underwater, and when Harris didn't resurface, his wife and friends started a frantic search. The next day, Harris's mutilated body was found a mile north of where he had last been seen. Locals believed that the area of the beach was safe, as it was frequently used for swimming and fishing by Aboriginal people. However, the crocodile, likely engaged in a death roll, attacked Harris with powerful force. His injuries indicated a fierce struggle before he was dragged under and drowned. This tragic incident highlights the increasing danger posed by saltwater crocodiles, which can grow over 20 feet long. Despite these attacks, crocodiles are a protected species in Australia, and hunters are not authorized to kill them. They are only relocated, and the next story is even more gruesome. Richard K. Root. In March 2019, 68-year-old Richard K. Root, a renowned expert in infectious diseases, tragically met his end in a crocodile attack while on a wildlife tour in Botswana. Root, a professor of medicine at the University of Washington, was with his wife on the Limpopo River when disaster struck. While they were out in separate canoes, a crocodile suddenly attacked Root, pulling him into the water. Despite his wife's desperate attempts to help, Root was dragged beneath the surface and was never seen again. Root had been in Botswana for a 2-month stint teaching local doctors and nurses about HIV and AIDS care as part of a program sponsored by the University of Pennsylvania and the government of Botswana. Root also had an illustrious career, including serving as the chairman of medicine at UC San Francisco and founding the Department of Infectious Diseases at the University of Pennsylvania School of Medicine. Sadly, his life was cut short by a ruthless crocodile encounter, leaving behind his wife and a legacy of invaluable contributions to the medical field. If you think that was tragic, wait until you hear about a crocodile whose deadly appetite claimed an innocent child. Australian boy. In a heartbreaking incident in Australia, the remains of 5-year-old Jeremy Doble were discovered inside the stomach of a crocodile. Jeremy had been playing with his brother Ryan and their dog near their home in a flooded mangrove swamp when he suddenly vanished on February 8th. Ryan told police that shortly after his brother disappeared, he spotted a crocodile, but didn't witness the attack. Tragically, the boy's remains were later found in the stomach of a crocodile in the Daintree River, a popular ecotourism destination. Authorities initially captured a female crocodile, but it was cleared of involvement after a surgical examination. So, the male crocodile, confirmed as the killer, underwent a non-lethal surgical procedure to confirm its stomach contents. Despite the tragic event, Jeremy's parents requested that the dominant male crocodile not be killed. Crocodiles have been protected under Australian federal law since 1971, and their numbers in the country's tropical waters have been steadily rising. If you think that loss was devastating, wait until you hear about a mother's painful journey to find balance after her daughter got eaten by a crocodile. Bryony Goodsell. In a heart-wrenching tragedy, 11-year-old Bryony Goodsell was taken by a crocodile while swimming with friends at a waterhole near her home outside Darwin in 2009. The loss still weighs heavily on her mother, Charlene O'Sullivan, who describes the pain as deep-seated. To cope with the loss, Charlene has turned to crocodiles, starting a small farm on her rural property where she sells crocodile products, including skins, bags, and key rings. The farm, named in Bryony's memory, serves as a tribute to her daughter. Also, Bryony's death led to the Northern Territory government introducing a small culling program aimed at aggressive crocodiles and a promise to remove all crocodiles within a 50-kilometer radius of Darwin. At the time, Charlene supported a more widespread culling. However, her views have changed. Now, she joins scientists in urging the government to focus more on public education rather than expanding culling efforts. Charlene believes that the best way to manage the crocodile population is through education, relocating problem crocodiles, and egg harvesting, rather than simply removing more of these creatures. And if this made your stomach turn, wait till we get deeper into the video. Paul McLean. In a tragic crocodile attack in Sri Lanka, 24-year-old Financial Times journalist Paul McLean lost his life after being dragged into a lagoon while washing his hands near a popular surfing spot called Elephant Rock. Witnesses reported seeing McLean wave his arms in the air before disappearing beneath the water. His body was later found in the muddy lagoon, 225 miles east of Colombo, with wounds on his leg. Also, a local fisherman saw the crocodile dragging him into the river, but the murky waters made it difficult for authorities to act quickly.
මේ පැත්තට ආවා.
මේ පැත්තට ආවා. ආවිල්ලා තපර විනාඩි දෙකක් නෑ මෙයාට මේ සිද්ධ වුණා.
Despite efforts by the Army and Navy, McLean's body was eventually recovered. This tragic encounter highlights the real danger of crocodiles in Sri Lanka, where both marsh and estuarine crocodiles thrive. McLean, an Oxford graduate, was remembered by his colleagues as a talented, dedicated journalist with an exceptional eye for detail. His tragic death came as a shock to many, particularly those who knew him in the Brussels bureau, where he gained recognition for his insightful reporting on Brexit. And the next story is even more gruesome. Zanele Ndlovu. In a truly shocking story, Zanele Ndlovu, a former national tennis player from Zimbabwe, was attacked by a crocodile just days before her wedding. While canoeing on the Zambezi River near Victoria Falls with her fiancé, Jamie Fox, disaster struck. A massive crocodile attacked their inflatable boat, tearing it apart and dragging Ndlovu into the water. The crocodile gripped her right arm, ripping it off, while her fiancé desperately tried to save her.
I was just pushing and kicking and trying to fight the croc as much as I could, and eventually one of the tour guides managed to pull me out of the water and get me onto one of their canoes.
Despite the severity of her injuries, including losing most of her arm and being left with a severely injured left hand, Ndlovu was determined not to miss her wedding. The couple held their wedding ceremony in a hospital chapel. Ndlovu walked down the aisle in a sleeveless white dress, her arm heavily bandaged, holding pink roses in her left hand. Also, a witness to the ceremony described the wedding as a remarkable love story, with the bond between them even stronger after the attack. Sadly, crocodiles are the leading cause of fatalities among wildlife in Zimbabwe, with 21 people killed in 2017 alone. If you think Zanele's strength was remarkable, wait until you hear about another heroic act in the face of terror. Andrew Kerr. In one of the most notorious crocodile attacks in Australian history, Andrew Kerr was dragged from his tent by a massive 4.2-meter crocodile at a remote Cape York campsite in October 2004. The attack happened around 4 a.m., leaving Kerr severely mauled and fighting for his life. But the story takes an unexpected turn. Alicia Sorohan, a 61-year-old grandmother, rushed out of her tent and bravely jumped onto the crocodile's head, desperately trying to save Kerr. Her heroic actions didn't go unnoticed. Her son, Jason, grabbed a weapon and shot the croc 4 times, ending the terrifying ordeal. Also, the aftermath was captured on footage by Ben Jones. Ben Jones had woken up early that morning to clean his teeth when he saw a flashing light in the distance. Initially thinking it was a hunting signal, he quickly realized it was a cry for help, so he learned that a crocodile had attacked the camp. If this act of bravery left you speechless, wait until you hear about a fisherman whose fate took a darker turn. Kevin Darmody. In one of the most tragic crocodile attacks in recent memory, 65-year-old Kevin Darmody, an experienced fisherman from Cape York, was last seen at Kennedy's Bend, a notorious saltwater crocodile habitat in northern Queensland. After a 2-day search, police euthanized 2 large crocodiles, measuring 4.1 meters and 2.8 meters, about 1.5 kilometers from where Darmody was last seen. Human remains were discovered inside one of the crocodiles, though wildlife officers believe both reptiles were involved in the attack. Also, Darmody's fishing friends didn't witness the incident but heard him yell, followed by a loud splash. His friend, John Peaty, later recalled finding Darmody's flip-flops on the bank but no sign of him. Crocodile attacks in northern Queensland are rare, but this incident marks the 13th fatal attack in the region since 1985. Meanwhile, Australia's Northern Territory, home to the largest wild crocodile population, sees an average of 1 to 2 deaths annually, though no fatal attacks have been recorded there since 2018. And just when you think you've heard it all, another story surfaces that will make you question nature's true power. Val Plumwood. On February 19, 1985, Australian philosopher Val Plumwood had an encounter that would change her worldview forever. While visiting Kakadu National Park, she borrowed a canoe from a park ranger and set out to explore the East Alligator Lagoon. After a brief lunch on a rock outcrop, Plumwood decided to explore further, unaware of the danger that lay ahead. As she paddled down a narrow channel, she spotted what seemed like a floating stick until it developed eyes. It was a saltwater crocodile, and as Plumwood's canoe drifted closer, the crocodile began lashing out with its tail. Before she could react, it seized her between the legs and dragged her under the water in a violent whirlpool. She was subjected to 3 brutal death rolls, a signature crocodile attack technique, before managing to break free and scramble up a steep mud bank. Severely injured and exposed to the bone, Plumwood crawled for 3 kilometers, eventually calling out for help. The park ranger, having noticed her absence, found her and rushed her to the hospital. And if this made your stomach turn, wait till we get deeper into the video. Jesus Alberto Lopez Ortiz. A small town in Costa Rica is mourning the tragic death of 29-year-old soccer player Jesus Chucho Alberto Lopez Ortiz, who was killed by a crocodile while trying to cool off in the Cañas River. So, Lopez Ortiz, a midfielder for Deportivo Rio Cañas, jumped into the river near Santa Cruz after exercising, unaware of the danger lurking beneath the water's surface. Despite the river being known for its crocodile population, the young player decided to take a swim. Witnesses were horrified as a crocodile attacked and dragged Lopez Ortiz underwater. Authorities are still unsure if he died from drowning or from the crocodile's bite. Local police later shot and killed the crocodile to recover Lopez Ortiz's remains. His team issued a heartfelt plea, asking the public to respect his family's grief. The tragic event sparked calls for better management of Costa Rica's crocodile population, as encounters like this one are becoming more frequent in the country's rivers. Lopez Ortiz's funeral was attended by over 1,000 people, including teammates and locals. And the next story is even more gruesome. Dr. Dave Hogbin. In a tragic incident in Queensland, Australia, Dr. Dave Hogbin, a father of 3, was killed by a crocodile after falling into the Annan River. So, Dr. Hogbin was on holiday with his wife and 3 young children when a section of the riverbank gave way, sending him into the water. His wife, Jane, tried to pull him out, but as the bank began to slip beneath her, Dave made a selfless decision. He let go of her arm, ensuring she didn't fall in too. Moments later, he was attacked by a 4.9-meter crocodile. His family later called him a hero, hailing his final act of bravery that likely saved his wife's life. The crocodile took Dr. Hogbin, and despite efforts to recover his body, his remains were later found inside the crocodile. Dr. Hogbin's sister-in-law spoke out to raise awareness about the dangers of the area, emphasizing how he had been doing everything right when disaster struck. Jane, his wife, described him as a loyal and protective father who was dedicated to his family. The family has since received support, with a GoFundMe page raising over $56,000. If you enjoyed watching this video, then keep exploring by clicking on any of the cards on your screen for more exciting videos like this.